welcome to Entrepreneur Life with Alexa. This is my brand new series. I'm going to be posting once a week talking about all things entrepreneurship, and this is video number 1. Now, if you're concerned as to whether you can call yourself an entrepreneur, let me just confirm the Google definition for you. Entrepreneur, noun, a person who organizes and operates a business, taking on greater than normal financial risks in order to do so. I've been an entrepreneur for as long as I can remember. I'm now 26 years old. I have actually never held down a full-time 9-to-5 job on a consistent long-term basis. And that's not because I come from a privileged family or because I won the lottery or because, I'm mentally incapable of doing so. I think for me, I just always had this piece of rebellion in me. Which I now have come to realize is an entrepreneur. All entrepreneurs have this rebellion, and we have a creativity that can hinder us but propel us in a completely different direction in life. So my story begins when I was, 20 years old. I, at this point in my life, had decided that I loved writing. Writing was my passion at this time, and I thought that I wanted to be a writer. I was going to university. I was taking an English degree because that was just the closest thing that I could fathom would bring me towards a writing career. When I got to my 3rd year in university, I was working so hard. I was going to school full-time and also holding down a part-time but almost full-time job in a real estate office, working as an assistant, which I hated. It was terrible. At that point, I got an opportunity to get my real estate license, which promised at that time to allow me to make a lot more money than I had even really thought possible. I dropped out of college. I said goodbye to university. I said goodbye to my classes, and briefly, I said goodbye to my writing career and a future and what I thought I wanted in order to just become a professional and do my own thing. I really was so inspired to do my own thing that I got my real estate license. I was 20 years old and I started selling real estate. Nobody trusted me. I was really young. I had never owned real estate. I had never been involved with real estate. All I had done was study, and I found it really difficult in that industry to just get myself going. It was really difficult. Eventually, in my 2nd year, I joined a team, and I started working as a buyer's agent, and at that point, I started working probably about 15-hour days. I could never make plans with friends because my phone would always be ringing, and there'd be showings and contracts and all of this really high-intensity work that was very deadline-driven. So I really had to give up my life for a while. When I was doing that, I also gave up my passion, which was my creativity and my writing. I stopped doing it. Eventually I decided that it wasn't worth it. I was making good money for my age, and I was making about $7,000 a month. But I was spending a lot of money. The expenses were through the roof, so I wasn't really putting any of it away. Eventually, I left the business and I started writing full-time. With my background in writing, I was always freelancing on the side, and I had a blog, a very small, tiny blog, which I posted on whenever I could get the chance to write. I decided that I wanted to travel. I had a job that I could take with me wherever I wanted to go. I would write articles nonstop, just to make enough money to get by. But money wasn't my priority at this point. My priority was creativity and seeing as much of the world as I possibly could. So I took my laptop and basically I flew to London. I stayed in London for 2 months. I did a fashion journalism course. I would get up in the morning and write 10 guest blog posts, 500 words, that's 5,000 words, before noon. Main priority at this point in my life was get my writing done so I could get out there and enjoy London and enjoy the new landscape that I was in. Little did I know this was developing a skill. You might know, you may have seen my blog. I am now at least a part-time blogger. I do travel and lifestyle topics mostly. Every year my blog gets more and more popular. It's not 100% of what I do. I actually am the owner of my own company called Studio Media, and we do social media, digital marketing, and content creation. And right now I'm at this weird point where I'm between freelancer, contractor, and agency, where I've only recently branded my business and I'm looking to grow my team. And this is bringing up all kinds of other challenges and just fears as an entrepreneur. So I think I'm gonna have a lot to talk to you guys about in the next few months as I go through this journey, and I hope that, you know, whatever I'm facing helps you in whatever you're going through as an entrepreneur. If you're having trouble considering yourself an entrepreneur, just consider the definition of Google. An entrepreneur can be anyone who has their own business, whether you're a blogger, a writer, a photographer, a videographer, a clothing designer, or someone who's selling scarves on Etsy. It doesn't really matter what your business is. The point is that you're doing it on your terms, and there's no boss that's paying you a paycheck. You're not getting your EI and your CPP deductions every month. You are basically just making money on your own terms, and that's what makes you an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is a crazy journey. There are so many ups and downs. I would not trade it for the world. I recently had a conversation with someone out at a bar, and I could see within her that she was going to become an entrepreneur. She doesn't know it yet, but I could see the rebellion, I could see the creativity, and I noticed myself in her maybe 5 years ago. You may be yourself about to become an entrepreneur, and you may not even know it. Maybe you just feel like you're meant to do something more with life. Maybe you hate being told what to do. Maybe your rebellious nature just has you doing really spontaneous things. Maybe your creativity keeps you up at night thinking about new ideas, things that you could create, or business ideas that you could run with. Maybe you're incredibly inspired to travel and see the world, and that's what's going to fuel your entrepreneurship. Whatever the case may be, I hope that you'll join me on this journey of entrepreneur life. I want you to give me your questions. You can comment below, and I will be basically formulating whatever weekly topic on your questions and on your feedback. So that's it for Entrepreneur Life episode 1. This was just my introductory about how I came to be an entrepreneur, and I hope that you'll follow along. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Share it with your friends. That would mean the world to me, and join us back next week.